Welcome back to our channel. Today, we uncover the hidden life and tragic final days of Peter Falk, the man who brought the iconic Lieutenant Columbo to life. Known for his signature raincoat, cigar, and unassuming brilliance, Falk's portrayal of the unconventional detective captivated audiences for nearly 4 decades, but behind the scenes his life was a blend of resilience, controversy, and unparalleled talent. From a childhood marked by adversity to his rise as a Hollywood star, his complicated personal relationships, and the heartbreaking decline in his later years, Peter Falk's story is as gripping as any Columbo mystery. Join us as we explore the man behind the legend, his incredible career, and the legacy he left behind. Peter Falk's journey began with a tragedy that could have derailed even the most determined spirits. At just 3 years old, he faced a life-changing diagnosis: cancer in his right eye. To save his life, doctors had no choice but to remove the eye, leaving him with a glass replacement. For a child, such a drastic change could have been overwhelming, but young Peter adapted with remarkable resilience. His distinctive appearance became a defining feature of his persona, one that audiences would later come to associate with his endearing and memorable performances. As he grew older, Falk's dream of pursuing acting was met with skepticism and outright rejection. Hollywood in the mid-20th century was not known for its inclusivity, and Falk's glass eye was seen as a liability in a world that prized conventional beauty and perfection. During a screen test at Columbia Pictures, studio head Harry Cohn infamously dismissed Falk, claiming there were plenty of actors with 2 good eyes. This cruel rejection could have easily crushed his ambitions, but Falk was not one to back down. Before finding his way to the stage and screen, Falk explored a variety of paths, each filled with its own unique challenges. At one point, he applied to the CIA, envisioning a career in espionage. However, his application to be a rifleman was rejected, with his glass eye once again standing in the way. Determined to carve out a life of purpose, he tried his hand at working in the Merchant Marines. While this venture didn't satisfy him, it added to the rich tapestry of experiences that shaped his character. Falk's eventual foray into acting was not an immediate success. He faced countless rejections, each a reminder of the uphill battle he had to fight in an industry that underestimated him. Yet through sheer determination and a refusal to let his perceived flaws define him, Falk began to find his footing. His unconventional looks and undeniable talent eventually turned what others saw as a hindrance into his greatest asset. Peter Falk's personal life was as dramatic and complex as the roles he portrayed on screen. His love story with Alice Mayo, his college sweetheart, began as a seemingly romantic tale of devotion. They shared over a decade of courtship before tying the knot in 1960. Yet, beneath the surface of their long relationship, cracks began to form. Falk's charm, which endeared him to fans worldwide, also led to relentless infidelity that ultimately strained their marriage to its breaking point. On nearly every film set, Falk's wandering eye created tensions that Alice struggled to endure. While she initially chose to overlook his indiscretions, hoping to preserve their marriage, the emotional toll became unbearable. In 1976, after 16 years of marriage, Alice reached her limit and the couple divorced. What followed was a swift transition into his next relationship, one already in motion before his first marriage had ended. In 1977, Falk married Shara Denise, a vibrant actress 22 years his junior. Their relationship had begun years earlier, with Falk pursuing her tirelessly until she finally relented. Their union was passionate, but far from tranquil. Falk's inability to remain faithful carried over into his second marriage, leading to frequent and fiery arguments. The couple's explosive dynamics became the talk of Hollywood, earning them the infamous nickname the Fighting Falks. Their arguments were as legendary as they were public, often oscillating between bitter confrontations and heartfelt reconciliations. Yet despite their tumultuous relationship, Peter and Shara shared a bond that weathered incredible challenges. Their marriage endured for an impressive 32 years, outlasting not just one, but 2 divorce filings. It seemed that for all their struggles, there was a connection between them that neither could fully sever. Perhaps it was Shara's understanding of Falk's unpredictable nature, or perhaps it was Falk's charisma that kept their relationship alive. Peter Falk's love life was a paradox of deep connection and undeniable flaws. It reflected the duality of a man who could be both deeply loving and deeply flawed, a contradiction that made him human. For all the turmoil, his relationships revealed a man who, while imperfect, was capable of profound affection and loyalty, even if it wasn't always expressed in traditional ways. This chapter of Falk's life adds yet another layer of intrigue to the story of a man whose complexities extended far beyond his on-screen persona. For nearly 40 years, Peter Falk captivated audiences around the globe with his masterful portrayal of Lieutenant Columbo. This wasn't just a television role, it was a phenomenon. The series began with humble origins, airing 2 pilot episodes in 1968 and 1971, before officially launching on NBC in 1971. For 7 years, viewers tuned in weekly to follow the unconventional detective, whose crumpled raincoat, ever-present cigar, and scatterbrained charm belied his razor-sharp intellect. After a hiatus of over a decade, the show made an extraordinary comeback, airing on ABC from 1989 to 2003. This rare resurgence cemented Columbo as a timeless classic, transcending generations and solidifying Peter Falk's status as a television legend. What made Falk's portrayal of Columbo so iconic? It was his ability to turn a simple homicide investigation into a captivating chess game. Audiences adored the way he lulled suspects into a false sense of security with his bumbling, humble demeanor, only to trap them in their own lies with his shrewd intellect and that unforgettable catchphrase, "Just one more thing." Fans loved rooting for the scruffy underdog detective who always managed to outsmart the wealthy and powerful. His charm wasn't just magnetic, it was disarming, making Columbo one of the most relatable and endearing detectives in TV history. Critics were equally smitten. Falk's nuanced performance earned him 4 Emmy Awards and countless accolades, with media outlets frequently praising the show for its groundbreaking format and Falk's unmatched charisma. Even decades after the final episode aired, Columbo is celebrated as one of the greatest crime dramas of all time. The character's impact is evident in pop culture, with countless parodies, homages, and references in shows like The Simpsons and Monk. What many don't know is that Peter Falk almost didn't get the role. When the show's creators, William Link and Richard Levinson, were casting Columbo, Falk wasn't even on their radar. They initially envisioned the legendary Bing Crosby in the role, but he declined, famously saying he preferred to spend his days on the golf course. Then came Lee J. Cobb, who was also considered but didn't fit quite right. Enter Peter Falk, whose passion for the character turned the tide. Falk wasn't just interested, he was relentless. He reached out to the creators directly, expressing his burning desire to bring the eccentric detective to life. His persistence paid off, and the rest, as they say, is history. Fans and media alike embraced Falk as Columbo, but his contributions went far beyond acting. Falk had a hand in shaping the character's distinct appearance. The iconic raincoat that became synonymous with Columbo, That was Falk's own, pulled from his closet after he decided the wardrobe provided didn't fit the character. This level of dedication endeared him even more to viewers, who admired his commitment to making Columbo not just a character, but a living, breathing person. Beyond Columbo, Peter Falk left his mark on the big screen as well. In films like The In-Laws, The Princess Bride, and Wings of Desire, Falk brought the same authenticity and charm that made his TV role legendary. Fans were delighted to see him flex his comedic and dramatic range, proving he was far more than a one-note actor. Peter Falk's contributions to the character of Lieutenant Columbo were nothing short of extraordinary, and his influence extended far beyond his acting. Falk's personal touch helped shape Columbo into one of the most beloved and enduring characters in television history, leaving fans and critics in awe of his attention to detail. One of Falk's most iconic contributions was the detective's signature raincoat, a piece of wardrobe that wasn't selected by costume designers, but pulled straight from Falk's own closet. This wasn't just a random decision. Falk believed that the raincoat, which he had purchased years earlier during a sudden rainstorm on 57th Street, perfectly embodied the essence of Columbo, practical, unassuming, and worn by a man who focused more on solving crimes than on appearances. Fans immediately latched onto this detail, with many noting that the raincoat became a visual symbol of Columbo's everyman persona. Over the years, it earned a legendary status, with some fans even jokingly referring to it as Columbo's unofficial uniform. But Falk's creative input didn't stop there. As the show progressed, NBC executives suggested giving Columbo a sidekick to inject new energy into the series. Falk, ever protective of the character's integrity, was hesitant. He felt that Columbo's quirks, his rumpled raincoat, his cigar, and his seemingly scatterbrained demeanor already made him unique. Adding a traditional sidekick might detract from the show's core dynamic. Everything changed, however, when Falk met a basset hound that would later become Columbo's loyal companion, simply named Dog. Unlike a human sidekick, the dog was the perfect complement to Columbo's unorthodox style. The basset hound's droopy expression and slow, meandering pace mirrored Columbo's own deceptive charm, making the duo an instant hit. Falk himself adored the dog, later describing it as one of the most inspired additions to the series. Viewers were equally enchanted. Fans loved watching Columbo's tender yet humorous interactions with his canine companion. The dog, with its stubborn refusal to follow commands and its constant desire for naps, became an unexpected fan favorite. Fan letters poured in, praising the decision to include the basset hound. Many viewers even commented that the dog added a relatable warmth to the show, showcasing Columbo's softer, more human side. The media couldn't get enough of the pairing either. Headlines described the basset hound as TV's laziest yet most lovable sidekick, and entertainment magazines regularly featured articles celebrating the dog's role in the show. Even years after the series ended, the dog remains one of the most memorable aspects of Columbo, with fans still debating which episodes showcase the pet's best moments. This creative decision also inspired countless parodies and tributes in pop culture. From animated shows to comedy sketches, the raincoat and dog combo became shorthand for Columbo's iconic status. Social media platforms are filled with fan art and memes celebrating the quirky duo, proving that Falk's instincts about the character were spot on. Peter Falk's personal life was just as dramatic and layered as his legendary on-screen performances. While his professional career thrived, his relationships told a different story, one marked by infidelity, public arguments, and emotional turmoil. Yet even amidst the chaos, Falk's love life captivated fans and media alike, adding a complicated dimension to the man behind the iconic Lieutenant Columbo. Falk's first marriage to Alice Mayo began as a romantic tale of dedication and perseverance. The couple's courtship lasted an impressive 12 years before they married in 1960. For nearly 2 decades, Alice stood by Falk as his career took off, enduring the pressures of Hollywood life. However, as Falk's star rose, so did the strain on their marriage. His natural charm, which audiences adored, often translated into on-set flirtations and extramarital affairs. Alice, initially trying to preserve their marriage, turned a blind eye to these indiscretions. But over time, the pain became too great to ignore. By 1976, after 16 years of marriage, Alice had had enough. Their divorce marked the end of what many had once believed to be a solid partnership. The media followed the breakup closely, speculating about the reasons behind the split. Gossip columns frequently highlighted Falk's infidelity, painting him as a man whose personal flaws often overshadowed his professional achievements. Fans were divided. Some expressed disappointment, finding it difficult to reconcile the humble, devoted Columbo with the man behind the scenes. Others sympathized with Alice, seeing her as a symbol of patience and grace in the face of heartbreak. Not long after the divorce, Falk made headlines again by marrying actress Shara Denise in 1977. Their relationship had been a source of speculation during his first marriage, and the new union only fueled the tabloids. Shara, 22 years younger than Falk, brought a vibrant energy to his life, but their marriage was far from peaceful. The pair quickly earned the nickname the Fighting Falks in Hollywood circles, as their fiery arguments became the stuff of legend. Their relationship was a constant cycle of intense conflict and heartfelt reconciliation. At one point, Shara filed for divorce twice, only for the couple to reunite each time. Their tumultuous dynamic fascinated fans and media alike, with many wondering how the couple managed to stay together despite their frequent clashes. Shara wasn't just Falk's partner in love, but also appeared alongside him professionally. She had small roles in several episodes of Columbo, further cementing their connection. Fans often commented on the chemistry they shared on screen, even as their real-life relationship remained unpredictable. Some admired Shara's resilience, applauding her ability to stand by Falk through the highs and lows of their marriage. Others criticized Falk's behavior, questioning how someone so devoted to his craft could struggle so much with personal fidelity. Despite their public disagreements and Falk's ongoing infidelity, the couple's marriage endured for an impressive 32 years. This longevity surprised many, especially given their tumultuous history. Media outlets frequently speculated about what kept them together, with some suggesting it was Shara's understanding of Falk's unpredictable nature, and others pointing to a deep, unbreakable bond. Peter Falk's final years were a heartbreaking chapter in an otherwise extraordinary life. In 2006, fans were saddened to learn that Falk had begun experiencing memory loss, marking the early stages of Alzheimer's disease. For someone who had spent decades captivating audiences with his quick wit and sharp intellect as Lieutenant Columbo, this diagnosis felt especially cruel. The disease slowly robbed Falk of the very essence that had made him a beloved figure in entertainment. A man celebrated for his brilliance and warmth both on and off screen. As his condition worsened, Falk faced additional health complications. Dental and hip surgeries further weakened him, and the anesthesia he underwent seemed to exacerbate his Alzheimer's symptoms. The vibrant actor who had once brought so much joy to millions began fading from public life, retreating into the care of his loved ones. However, even this period was marred by controversy, as disputes erupted within his family. Falk's wife, Shara Denise, who had been by his side for over 3 decades, found herself at the center of legal battles with his adopted daughters. Accusations flew back and forth with one of Falk's daughters, Catherine, claiming she and her sister had been prevented from visiting their father during his final years. Allegations of elder abuse surfaced, further complicating an already emotionally charged situation. The media, eager for a story, latched onto these disputes, amplifying the family's turmoil. Fans, however, responded with a mix of sadness and empathy. Many took to online forums and social media to express their heartbreak over Falk's struggles, sharing fond memories of his work and offering support to his family. Some sided with Shara Denise, admiring her dedication to caring for Falk during his illness, while others sympathized with his daughters, lamenting their claims of being excluded from their father's final days. The public was deeply invested, not just in Falk's legacy, but in the human drama that unfolded behind closed doors. In June 2011, Peter Falk passed away at the age of 83. His death marked the end of an era for fans of Columbo and classic television. Yet the most tragic element of Falk's final years was that Alzheimer's had stolen his memories of the role that defined his career. By the end, Falk reportedly could no longer recall his time as Lieutenant Columbo, a character who had become an enduring symbol of brilliance and charm. For fans, this loss felt deeply personal. The idea that the man who had given them so much joy through his unforgettable performances could no longer remember those moments was a bitter pill to swallow. In his final public appearance, Falk was spotted wandering the streets of Beverly Hills, disheveled and disoriented. The sight was a stark reminder of the devastating toll Alzheimer's can take. Police intervened to ensure his safety, and while fans were heartbroken by these images, they flooded social media with messages of support and love. The phrase, "Rest in peace," Peter Falk trended globally upon his passing, as admirers around the world shared tributes, fan art, and stories about how his work had touched their lives. Media outlets joined in honoring Falk's legacy, publishing heartfelt obituaries that celebrated his career and highlighted his lasting impact on television and film. From Emmy-winning performances in Columbo to his memorable roles in The Princess Bride and Wings of Desire, Falk's body of work was hailed as a testament to his incredible talent. Documentaries and retrospectives soon followed, with many focusing on the enduring cultural significance of Columbo and the genius behind the role. Even in the face of such heartbreaking struggles, Peter Falk's legacy shines brightly. His portrayal of Columbo remains a gold standard for television acting, inspiring countless actors and creators. Fans continue to celebrate his work, revisiting old episodes and introducing new generations to the brilliance of a character who always managed to solve the case with charm and ingenuity. Peter Falk's death in June 2011 marked the end of a truly remarkable life. For decades, he had captivated audiences around the world with his wit, charm, and unforgettable performances, most notably as the iconic Lieutenant Columbo. Yet his passing also revealed a poignant and controversial chapter in his story, as his family became embroiled in a bitter legal battle over his $100 million estate. The dispute centered around Falk's widow, Shara Denise, and his adopted daughters. Shara, who had been by his side for more than 30 years and cared for him during his final years battling Alzheimer's disease, was left the majority of the estate. This decision led to legal challenges from Falk's daughters, who claimed they had been excluded from his life and denied access to their father during his last days. The conflict quickly became public, with tabloids and media outlets following every twist and turn. Fans were heartbroken by the news of Falk's passing, and the subsequent family feud. Many took to social media to share their thoughts, expressing sorrow over the loss of such an influential figure, while lamenting the discord within his family. On platforms like Twitter and Facebook, hashtags like Remember Peter Falk and Columbo Forever began trending as fans paid tribute to the actor who had brought so much joy to their lives. Media coverage of Falk's death was extensive. Major outlets published obituaries celebrating his incredible career, while entertainment programs aired retrospectives highlighting his most iconic roles. Documentaries and fan-made videos quickly surfaced, exploring Falk's journey from an underestimated actor with a glass eye to a television legend. Many of these tributes focused on his portrayal of Lieutenant Columbo, a character who continues to inspire actors, writers, and fans to this day. Despite the turmoil surrounding his estate, Falk's legacy as an actor remains untarnished. His adventurous spirit, love for storytelling, and ability to connect deeply with audiences are celebrated far and wide. Fans often speak of his performances with reverence, recalling the unique charm he brought to each role. For many, Columbo was more than just a television show. It was an experience. Falk's portrayal of the unassuming yet brilliant detective captured the hearts of millions, creating a character who felt as real as a close friend. Beyond Columbo, Falk's versatility as an actor shone in films like The Princess Bride, where he brought warmth and humor as the storybook reading grandfather, and Wings of Desire, where his depth and humanity left a lasting impression. His body of work is a testament to his incredible range, proving that he was far more than a one-role actor. Fan reactions to Falk's death were deeply emotional. Online forums buzzed with stories of how his work had touched people's lives. Some shared memories of watching Columbo with their families, while others spoke of how Falk's resilience and dedication inspired them to pursue their own dreams. Tributes poured in from celebrities and colleagues as well, with many praising Falk not just for his talent but for his generosity and kindness off-screen. As the years have passed, Peter Falk's legacy has only grown stronger. Streaming platforms have introduced Columbo to a new generation of viewers, many of whom find themselves instantly captivated by the detective's cleverness and Falk's nuanced performance. Fan conventions regularly honor his work, with discussions, screenings, and memorabilia dedicated to keeping his memory alive. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the life of Peter Falk, the unforgettable Lieutenant Columbo. His brilliance on screen and his tumultuous personal life remind us of the complexities that often lie behind the characters we love. While his final days were marked by challenges, his legacy as a television icon and a talented actor endures. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories about the stars who shaped entertainment history. Until next time, let's remember the legendary Peter Falk and the timeless charm of Columbo.